Alright, so this is pretty much just a quick video. Uh, don't mind the mess, please. Um, to the person that gave me a nice, interesting, wouldn't say reprimanding, but a nice, pleasing request for a video in Lamar. This is for you, but also for all those other people out there that can actually help me out with this stuff. I'm currently I modified this amplifier so it has the original 1/0 gauge terminals. I did have to drill them out a little bit because they weren't actually 1/0 gauge. So I used the drill press and got them actually 1/0 gauge. Multiple modifications. It's now 4000p. That's way beside the point. I'm trying to find some female terminals like this, even like these, any female terminals that are not already on an amplifier. Because apparently online you just can't buy them online. Heck, you can't even find them. I found 3 or 4 of them on eBay and they were about that size. Or you can go to like lugsdirect.com or dcconnectors.com, whatever it is, and you find them like this. Well, it's got a female jack, I guess you could say. You can put your wire in here and set it. I didn't put this in here, by the way. So you can put it inside the amp, but then it's... No, no. I need to know where I can buy these on their own. I don't want to have to buy an amp off eBay just because I want the terminals and tear it apart and rip the terminals off, because if it's got good terminals, probably means it's a halfway decent amplifier. These are... These were not originally on this amp either. They're 4-gauge amplifier input terminals off of a Lanzer MXA 282. Yep, there it is. This amplifier is really cheap design, but the components in it are badass. I mean, but see, you can see these really small solder traces, and it is a dual transformer design, and you have this power supply isolated somehow, which is really surprising, because this one wire is what takes all the power to this transformer for these 8 FETs, and then this one wire, the same for here. So if you only have one fuse in, only one will come on. So that's really weird. I've never worked with amplifiers like that before, but I'm usually working with amplifiers like this that are 4,000, 6,000, 10,000 watts and above. But it had the 4-gauge female terminals, and the components in it are absolutely phenomenal. The 2SC 5200s, 230 volts at 16 amps continuous. I mean, they're just phenomenal. So if anybody out there could possibly hit me up on Facebook, or possibly my business website, volkmanaudiorepair.weebly.com, if you know anywhere where I can get terminals like this, or even like this, but big, because I'm putting in a second transformer design, not transformer design, but I'm putting in a second transformer, if I can find it. What is it? Okay, this is the transformer I'm putting in it, and if it'll focus. Sorry about that. Not feeling so great today. Now, this is the power-based amplifier that was originally in this chassis. It's the ASA 1500.1D, 1 ohm stable. You have 6 FETs for the positive and 6 for the negative. It is your half-bridge design. It's a pretty nice amplifier, I'll definitely give you that, but it burned out real bad, so I just decided to use the parts out of it. Some of the optocouplers and the ICs went out, and these boards like to go out sometimes. And it's a Class D amp, but all the components are THT through a whole mount. They're not S&D at all. But these transformers are absolutely wonderful. And the crazy part is, see, like this Lanzer amplifier, you have 4 MOSFETs for each side of the coil. So like for this center tap right there, which you can't see it with a hooey, you have 4 MOSFETs driving it, and then the 4 for the other side, so 8 in total. 16 in total due to it being a dual power supply design. Now, these big giant transformers, they only have 3 MOSFETs per side, and it used the standard rectifier TO220 package type for the rectifiers, only 1 set, so they went here. I mean, look at the size of that transformer. So you're going to limit it that much. So this is actually a Boss amplifier. It was the 2000 watt monoblock R2000M. It's a Class AB amp. It's supposed to be 2000 watts peak into 2 ohms. It was barely doing 300 watts peak. It was clipping. Got my 1200 watt sub hot because it was sending way dirty signal out. So I modified the Hui out of it, changed the power supply FETs. I put it in this chassis, so it's using these terminals and these. Turned the power supply up from 88 volts to 109. I put extra capacitors in there, so instead of only 4400 microfarads per rail, it's got 8800, so 16,000 in total. Not really, but yeah, aside from the point, what I'm going to do now to get even better power out of it, I'm going to change the original transformer, which is, it's pretty small, I mean, it's a Boss amp, for this. And there's room, see, because inside here, your power supply, there's 4 FETs to drive the transformer on each coil, so there's 8 in total. But over here, there's plenty of space, so I'm going to add 8 more. So that each side of this transformer will get 8 MOSFETs. Now look at the size of that wiring. So the thickness of the pins is what you really want to worry about. So there was only 3 there. 3 of those pins. That was it. That's what was driving, now 3 independent components, but 3 pins to drive this big giant transformer. Now the transformer I'm using is from over here, and it's got the preamp winding and all that. So I also added a secondary set of rectifiers, so there's 2 for the positive and 2 for the negative. So that also increased the voltage output level, a lower forward voltage drop, or a FVD for forward voltage drop, but for some reason they use VF. But it's just a pretty simple amplifier, really. It's power supply is pretty decent, but once I do that, it'll really be able to get the power, because then the amount of pins will equal the amount of wiring a little bit better. So obviously I'm going to have really big terminals. So either I find them like those, or like these, and this is not an amplifier, this is an inverter. Going to rebuild it too. All the MOSFETs went out in it. 16 MOSFETs, so there's 8 CT transformers in here. So I'm going to rebuild that, but I don't want binding posts. It has to be female, so if any of you could possibly know where to find some of those, I would be very grateful. Like, I'd give you a shout out in the next video. And I know the videos have been extremely far apart. I think it was 2 years ago from the last video, but I just got my business open, so I'm getting everything set up, getting all the wiring, batteries. Just got my new scope, my clamp meters, my other meters, all that stuff. So, thanks. But just make sure and either just comment in the comments below or just send me a message on Facebook, Anthony Volkman. And if you'd be so kind, like, subscribe, and comment. Mainly comment, please. Because I need these badly. So, thanks.